The movie begins with card game players who meet to play. A young boy, the son of one of the card players, dons an Iron Man costume to protect his mother. However, his gesture of affection quickly loses its charm as she dismisses him, leaving the little boy feeling rejected. Seeking acceptance, he makes his way towards the balcony of their high-rise house. Initially unsuccessful, he musters the courage to leap off the building, hurtling towards the ground below. In a stroke of luck, an elderly janitor witnesses the perilous act and springs into action. With astonishing dexterity, he extends his arms beyond their natural length, managing to catch the falling boy and save him from harm. All this unfolds before the mother's eyes, who remains unaware of her child's dangerous escapade. As the janitor secures the boy's safety, the mother, sensing something amiss, rushes downstairs in a panic to ensure her child's well-being. At first, she finds him unharmed, promising that card gambling would no longer take priority in her life. While they were speaking, some passerby witnessed their entire incident and began questioning the old man's superpowers. But before coming to any firm conclusions themselves, he used an electronic device on them which erased all memories. As seen in the next scene, Fire is seen attending to his customers due to their impatience, as their food cannot heat fast enough in his stove. They become restless, forcing Fire into serving them immediately by secretly placing his hands under it to use his powers in heating up food before instantly delivering it them. As Electric, a dancer at a nightclub, can be seen working, she becomes aware that an obsessed simp is trying to climb onto stage and have some frisky action with her, only for Electric's electrical abilities to strike back, zapping him off stage before falling down onto the ground. Unfortunately, being an obsessive simp doesn't end well. In another scene, a woman's car becomes trapped in a pothole, rendering its driver powerless and getting it freed out. Iron Saver, who works as a security guard, decides to turn one of his hand metal into lifting power in order to lift her vehicle single-handed. Subsequently, Fire and Electric respond to an alert by Eyes as their leader, who informs them that thieves have attempted to raid a nearby museum for something valuable. After disarming their nearby CCTVs and blowing up a manhole cover to complete their mission, criminals arrive. Soon thereafter, Ice and his group of heroes decide to pursue them, but before they could make contact, a person wearing an extremely cheap Superman outfit named Sticky appeared and attempted to stop them from acting upon it. Sticky is suddenly thrust into the scene as an I-Team recruit. He attacks thieves using his super sticky saliva before calling in support from other heroes who join Sticky to bring down baddies individually, eventually rounding them all up while one criminal remains unconscious. Ice decided to employ one of his special abilities against him. He began hypnotizing him into thinking that he is his father and started confessing about working for a Middle Eastern mobster who hired them to steal manhole covers to build tanks, material unsuitable for such projects. Eyes swiftly wipes Sticky's memory of his involvement, apprehends the thieves at a later time, and acquaints him with the other members of their esteemed superhero squad. It doesn't take long for Sticky to comprehend the reasoning behind my insistence on all heroes serving as couriers at some point. I take a moment to explain to Sticky the critical importance of maintaining a concealed identity for each hero, ensuring the seamless operation of our heroic teams. Sticky has decided that everyday jobs are his path forward in his attempt to seek happiness. Sticky begins working for Seven Technology Company. Seven is currently engaged in an anti-cloning research project headed up by Dr. Bill. This demonstration takes place before CEO Mr. JG and business partner Mr. Ding in order to show them his progress. After injecting a special serum into an apple tree owned by Mr. Lee, it doubles in size immediately, stunning him into signing an immediate contract with Seven. Meanwhile, Seven becomes careless with courier deliveries, disobeying advice from I and climbing walls instead to bring packages directly. His actions startle a woman who passes out thinking she has seen a ghost. Once I knew this information was revealed to me, I immediately corrected him for using his abilities without the proper controls in place, but Sticky became angry and demanded more meaningful tasks soon afterward. Shea came along asking Sticky to help deliver clothes. Attracted by Shea, she asked him to assist. Unfortunately, while at Shek's house, Sticky felt an urgent call of nature prompting him to ask Shek for the bathroom instead of meeting with his sister Shek at home first. As Shaw was responding to Nasir's call, Sticky saw a cockroach and panicked. spilling some sticky piss all over himself and on the bathroom floor, as well as accidentally touching Shi's undergarment and sticking it onto himself accidentally. Sha heard this happening, quickly entered, only to discover her innerwear was stuck to his hand. Sha's face registered a mix of confusion and surprise as she discovered the item in Sticky's hand, instead of it being on Shi herself. Misinterpreting the situation, she mistakenly perceived Sticky's action as a hostile behavior directed towards her, failing to understand that he had merely picked up her innerwear from Shi, and not from any other source, and they begin screaming that he is an offender. The poor superhero attempts to explain, but this only ends up embarrassing her in front of her live streaming audience, and leaving. Seems he got himself into some difficulty back at 7 when Bill tested out his cloning technology on a lab rat. Mr. Chang believes it to be unethical to clone living things. Bill disagrees as his technology can cure terminal illnesses, telling Chang that organ cloning could save many lives. Chang advises Bill against this decision and advises him to postpone the experiment for now. Meanwhile, after being humiliated at his last delivery, Sticky runs to Eyes asking for assistance to manage his powers. Eyes obliges by conducting minor surgery on both of Sticky's hands before teaching him how to use his powers more efficiently. After several days have gone by, Sticky returns to his courier job and delivers a package directly to Shia's door. She refuses to engage with him upon opening it, but Sticky insists he means no harm and just needs to deliver her package. Unfortunately, when she opens it, she finds an inappropriate male doll inside. Shea becomes upset at Sticky and begins hitting him with her doll to gain revenge on him. Luckily for Sticky, though, her next-door neighbor steps in and takes back her doll, saying it belongs to him, and begins an argument over ownership with Shea before later offering an apology to Sticky herself for attacking them in return. Sticky then takes this chance to explain his actions from before. A phone rings, prompting Chea to rush downstairs. Sticky follows her, where it becomes evident that Chea's father is Mr. Chang. In secret, Bill continues cloning experiments and successfully creates one of Chea's lab rats there. He warned his team members against disclosing any details to Mr. Chang, and they complied. I then informed his all-star squad about some dangerous criminals operating within the city, and instructed Sticky to shadow them during their missions, successfully taking down each criminal in quick time. One night during a stakeout, however, a criminal followed Shea and grabbed her without warning, then attempted to seduce her on top of an apartment building. Luckily for Shaw, Sticky soon arrived with his liquids to stop this criminal from getting too frisky with her. But when the criminal pushed Shaw off a high building and she began falling, Sticky came and bound him with liquid. However, when the criminal then pushed Shaw off further, then Sticky stopped us, swinged by and saved her just moments before Eyes appeared and erased her memories before lying by saying they were filming and didn't want Shaw to join in. Shea returns home and someone asks her to watch the evening news. It turns out that several CCTV cameras captured her rescue. Shortly thereafter, it becomes viral within the city and citizens begin calling him Sticky a hero for helping save Shea's life. Unfortunately for him, though, the courier Eyes is angry by this turn of events and intend to hold him responsible. However, his superior takes advantage of this publicity stunt by exploiting Sticky as an icon for themselves and spreading his image around. Soon, Sticky becomes well known across the nation, where he's asked to appear in advertisements, magazines, and even judge voice contests. However, Iron becomes jealous and confronts Sticky Ironhead on over their fame. In an urgent bid to break free, soon seizes Sticky and deploys his adhesive substances, aiming for Iron's mouth in a desperate attempt to escape. However, amidst the chaotic confrontation, Shea, a passionate admirer of the courageous courier, inadvertently enters the room. In an unfortunate turn of events, Shea unintentionally knocks Sticky out of Iron's grasp, inadvertently causing it to land directly on himself, resulting in an awkward and sticky entanglement between their bodies. Disappointed and assuming that Iron had an affinity for men instead, Shea's hopes are dashed, leading him to exit the scene. She quickly arrives at a dock, where she torches the picture of her beloved courier and breaks into pieces. Hero Sticky approaches Shaya, determined to clarify the situation and dispel any misconceptions. He earnestly attempts to explain that the courier in question doesn't harbor romantic feelings for men. However, Shaya remains skeptical and unconvinced. In a moment of desperation to offer solace and maintain hope, hero Sticky resorts to a white lie. He fabricates a story claiming that he himself had bravely confessed his feelings to the courier, but was unfortunately rejected. This falsehood is intended to instill a glimmer of hope in Shaya's heart, assuring her that the courier will soon meet with them personally to provide a comprehensive explanation, thereby resolving the misunderstanding once and for all. At 7, one of Bill's staff discovers his experimentation on animals and alerts system manager Mr. Jang. Mr. Jang's anger towards Bill reaches a boiling point, and he menacingly threatens to sever his employment. However, before he can carry out his intentions, Mr. Jang commands his security personnel to apprehend both Bill and those who had betrayed him. In the midst of the ensuing chaos, Bill takes decisive action. He administers his cloning serum to each staff member, intending to protect them from further harm. Unfortunately, the dosage proves to be fatal for some of the individuals who had previously reported Bill for using the serum on them, leading to tragic consequences. Staff end up passing away. Upon discovering that the dosage of the cloning serum fails to yield the desired results, Bill quickly seeks an alternative solution. He approaches a trusted colleague, requesting them to copy crucial data for further study. However, Bill's plans are thwarted by Jang, who had preemptively blocked access to the required resources before confronting him. This infuriates Bill even more, intensifying his frustration. Driven to desperation, Bill confronts Jang and issues a chilling threat, hinting at the potential use of the serum against Jan. Regrettably, Jang stands firm, refusing to yield to Bill's demands. With no other choice, Bill realizes that he must step forward and face the consequences of his actions directly. Sha is planning something sinister at home while she anxiously anticipates meeting the superhero of her dreams, who she had seen before on TV, only for him not to show. Soon she hears a knock at the door from Bill's men. Unfortunately, they abduct Sha without explanation. When Sticky arrives for their date at her apartment, he discovers it empty, realizing Sha had been taken. Eyes calls in his team, led by Iron. While most comply, but Iron hesitates until ordered to join by Ice, who quickly finds out the location of Shek, who has been abducted, telling Sticky ahead while the others catch up later. Shek and his father remain held hostage by Bill, who threatens Chang by trying to inject an experimental serum into Sha. Sticky arrives just in the nick of time, averting a potential disaster, and springs into action alongside his team. Together, they engage in a fierce battle against the security guards, their combined efforts proving formidable. With unwavering determination, they overcome each adversary, successfully thwarting their malicious intentions. To ensure that no trace remains, they meticulously wipe all data from the servers, erasing any evidence of wrongdoing. However, amidst the chaos, Bill manages to slip away, attempting to flee from the scene. His escape is short-lived, as Iron intercepts him, unleashing a relentless barrage of forceful strikes. Iron's blows rain down upon Bill, forcefully putting an end to his desperate attempt to evade justice. Bill manages to stick a syringe into Iron's neck. Bill transforms into a metallic being and kills off his evil scientist immediately, but then begins terrorizing and hurting innocent civilians instead. Other superheroes try to stop this threat with individual powers, but are no match against his inhuman strength. Sticky attempted to fight him off, but ended up losing the battle, leaving his face exposed, just before Iron was about to deliver one fatal blow on Sticky. Shaw shot from behind at him to disorient Iron, thus giving her time enough for Iron to throw an open car door at Sticky's Sticky, and save him in time, even as Sticky recognized Iron as her weird deliveryman. She expresses her delight, knowing that Sticky was chosen as courier. After realizing their odds are greater if they join forces together rather than try fighting him individually, all three reach out and touch Sticky, sending out his saliva blast against all their powers at once. Sticky, driven by a fierce determination, engages in a battle against metallic Iron, skillfully countering his formidable powers with precise punches aimed at his vulnerable eyes. With each strike, Sticky realizes that he has successfully neutralized the effects of metallic Iron's abilities. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Sticky instructs his teammates to escort him directly to the hospital for necessary medical attention. The movie reaches its climactic conclusion, leaving the audience on the edge of their seats. As the credits begin to roll, the story transitions seamlessly into the next chapter of Sticky's life. Alongside his newfound love interest, SHK, he resumes his duties as a courier ready to embark on new adventures and face new challenges while cherishing the bond they share. Thank you for watching. If this recap has left an impression on you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so as to not miss our next video.